No, it was on there. I'm kidding.
Oh, was
It was on the thing, but
okay.
I don't think it really matters.
No. Show day 6. All right, well.
Shout out Hanson.
Yeah, shout out Hanson.
Shout out.
There we go. So welcome to another episode of Running on Stoke. I'm still Chris.
I'm drinking coffee, but I'm Jacob.
And, so we just had, I guess we'll start off by thanking our sponsor. It's just us two idiots today. Wilkerson's flying back from Boston right now. But still want to give Stoke a shout out. Go on stokeperformance.com, try out all the new flavors. My parents just got some. My mom's loving them. I'm pretty sure.
My family is dumping in countless dollars to the Stoke brand, as they should be, as a family that does not consume peanut butter because of health allergies. I also have to give a shout out to my aunt. She has listened to all of these podcasts multiple times, and she felt she deserved a shout out, and I feel she does as well. So shout out back home, Aunt Julie.
Thank you, Aunt Julie. Also, I don't know if you guys remember a couple episodes ago, if you were here for the mouth tape situation. You remember that?
Oh, the hostage mouth tape. I feel like we also have to address how we're holding these mics real quick, though.
We're working on the, as my mom said, she goes, it's kind of up and down. So I think it's because us two idiots just go like this.
We're staring at each other a lot. There's a lot of hard eye contact between me. It might also sound like we're screaming into these today. I don't know how this is going to work.
We can tone it down maybe, but so hopefully this works.
Sorry, back to the hostage tape. I felt weird about this.
So, I feel like every year, I try to add something to my body, not really on purpose, but like it just kind of naturally happens, like tattoos or getting my ears pierced or like trying to like dress
bodily harm in some way.
Yeah,
it sounds
one of them was like get normal clothes, like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like my buddy Jack, I took him shopping. I was like, just pick stuff out for me because shopping's terrifying to me.
Well, I'm curious. What were you wearing before?
Oh, I mean, it was all just like UMass little college stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's like at some point you need stuff that's like not.
It seemed like you were just dressing in something like that your mother picked out from the Gymboree or something like that.
Oh, no. But that might be the style now, honestly. But
it could be. I'm so. Yeah. I mean, look at how I'm dressed currently.
I know, it's tough. Shopping's tough. I feel like everyone's judging me for what you pick out. So I just was like, I took my buddy Jack, who felt like he had good style, and I was like, just whatever you say, I'm just gonna buy. But
that's a lot of trust in your boy.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out fine.
We
got some good deals at the outlets, but yeah. So anyway, my new one was I've been seeing these commercials on Instagram for like this like tea whitener thing.
Oh,
and I'm like,
this is not going well. Yeah, this is not going to go well. I can smell it already.
For $15, like why not? Like I might as well. So,
is it the charcoal stuff?
No, I have the charcoal toothpaste though. Because it's the only
that seems like a scam to me.
It's the only thing that comes in the travel size. It's like Colgate. Did you get it in Florida or was that Stubbs? Someone else
had to have been Stubbs.
I think it was Stubbs because it was like
he's gonna love that we said that on a hot mic too. Yeah. That his name's Stubbs.
For some reason, travel size toothpaste are only. I can only find the charcoal one.
I can find you regular Colgate relatively easily.
The small ones.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I used only travel size for a while because I was flying so much, and I just thought no need for an actual one.
Okay,
we can go to Kroger after this. Sorry, I keep derailing you.
But anyways, yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Let's see if I can do this. So it's like $15. I fell for it just as if like people are falling for this hostage tape stuff. Comes in yesterday. I did it. I took before and after pictures, and then I did it again today. So I took.
You took before and after.
Yeah. I was like, I want to see because I was like, is this a scam? I took 3 pictures. I mixed them up. I want you to tell which one has the.
These are incredible. This is podcasting at its finest, just pictures and stuff. I couldn't. I mean, I feel like you got to give the product a little bit more than like a.
Oh no! It says instantaneous. Like these.
Anytime you see that, that's like.
Yeah, I read it. It was like you said, like dye is supposed to neutralize, and I'm like, oh yeah. So, and then I was like, this. So I put it back in the drawer. I'm looking. It pops up again. They legit had a banana that turned the most perfect shade of yellow. I mean, the perfect shade of white from yellow, and I was like. Oh, this is such a scam. I hadn't seen that one before. So, and I clicked in the comments, and it's just like 50 comments being like, this doesn't work. It's a scam. It's a scam. It's a scam. It's supposed to be like, they advertise it as like, in the fine print, is like, oh, you already have really white teeth. This will like help like protect you throughout the day.
Yeah.
So
that
hand up. I got scammed.
It sounds like me when the whole crypto thing was going down. Anybody that knows me knows I love to gamble, and I saw everybody making money, and I go, oh, this looks easy. Like I was like, I know things. I went in there and like it was just an instant like money grab. I put money into it was like this it was like a virtual bank. They're like, if you buy in on this loan, my buddy Thomas will know exactly what I'm talking about because he hit it big on this, and I got crushed on it. I bought on the dip, and it was you buy in for like 30 days. You're like watching all these contracts, and you're like, oh, in 30 days, my $100 is going to be $3,000, and I'm like, that's too good to be true. But I'm like, let's do this thing. So I do it. I get up to 28 days. I start seeing the little loading bar that has all the contracts on it. Just goes from about 20,000 to about 17,000. I go, that's 3,000. That's not good, but we just need 48 hours. Me and my boy Riley. Next day, shout out Riley, by the way. We're looking at this thing. It's down to 4,000, and we're like, ooh, not good, but still 4,000 idiots in here as well. Maybe we can get out before. Next morning we wake up, it's all gone.
Oh,
yeah, so that's a hard way to lose money, but. Yeah, that was a tangent and a quarter for me there. We also do want to say STOKE is not one of these products.
Yeah, no.
STOKE is exactly what is advertised on these beautifully packaged
these
canisters.
Are very aesthetic.
I know. It's
pleasing.
A weird thing for me, but like the texture's nice.
I love it.
You're not getting this anywhere else.
It's like a great.
If they use this as the mouth tape. Like maybe I would get invested in it.
It's just a great way to great packaging. But not a marketing scam on that one, which is nice. And there's like science to back this one up. I just like read something and I was like, blacked out and bought it. But
how much did you lose on it?
Oh, it was like $15.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, not too bad. That should have been the first sign right
just
there.
Just a McDonald's meal right there.
A couple McDonald's meals probably, but
couple McDonald's.
Oh God, so good. Speaking of gambling, if anyone put money on Kipchoge yesterday. I mean, they got to be hurting.
And I know a couple, and I feel for you boys. Yeah, obviously that was yesterday was a Boston Marathon.
It was.
I mean, the epitome of it. Anything can happen on the course, and Kipchoge proved that.
I think it was cool. I feel like this is like one of the more hyped up ones. Like this, we talked about it like on last episode, where like there was a lot of names there. I feel like it lived up to the hype personally. Like, it was a very exciting race. There was, like, a lot of storylines. Obviously, having, like, anytime you have somebody, like, the greatest, like, when he shows up to that race, it was the first time I felt like there was some, like, outside interest almost. And, like there was a lot of hype for this. And, like, was someone going to beat him? Is he going to do it? And also, like, the American storylines, like, people going out. I feel like for the first time in a while, like, a race kind of lived up to the hype. Because it was pretty exciting right to the finish. It was, like, a mile to go is when it got decided.
Yeah. Like every moment that I could watch that I was not selling shoes, it was pretty electric. There was a lot. I mean, I think it was well covered. ESPN actually did a pretty good job. I hate to give them that, but I mean, they did a good job. They covered the rollers as well, the wheelchair winners. They actually kind of got you like into the storylines of those a little bit more. Which, like, I mean, I think they're just as impressive as the runners because, I mean, as someone who can complete maybe 7 to 8 push-ups on a good day, being able to wheel for 26 miles. I mean, the dude who was coming in finishing was like 257 miles.
Yeah.
Which, again, I don't know a ton about roller racing, but, like, that's got to be screaming, right? Like,
I mean, granted, it is, like, for Boston, it is, like, kind of
it's downhill, obviously.
Go up a lot of. It's still the same for them with. Like,
he's got to go up Heartbreak Hill with just his arms.
Yeah, and the weight of that thing, the chair.
Oh, I mean, they're light, but still, it's like good.
It can't be fun.
That's got to be fun.
Do you see? I don't know if you saw this. If you're, actually, I don't know. You might have been working or not working yet, but like the lady that won, her like wheel came loose and she had to pull over and just. Pulling out.
She had to.
They have
crazy.
So much stuff.
She's got her own pit crew.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. Like, I would like to watch that a little bit more as well. Like, not to derail from like the part of the marathon that we can actually speak to, but I feel like these roller races could be fun.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I wish it was a little. I mean, I guess not because there's more disabled people. Like, I wish it was a little more.
Yeah, no, I am not hoping for more disabled people. I mean, but the ones that are in the sport, I think it would be fun to like have like a little bit more of like almost a circuit to watch it.
Yeah,
like it's exciting.
Yeah, and I mean, especially I like any form of racing, so like having the technology of like those chairs too, because I'm like Honda's building these things. So it's like it's not like it's just like you go to CVS and you buy a wheelchair. Like these things are like
no.
like I
Can
would
you
like just
buy
more
wheelchairs at CVS?
I don't know. I didn't get like crutches. So that's what made me think of it. But like I don't know. But yeah, it's not like you're leaving the hospital after you passed out from giving blood and not that type. But I would like to learn more about like the wheelchairs and like I mean she was pulling out like rain gear. I'm like, how much stuff you bring with you?
Yeah, no,
it's kind of crazy.
Interesting. And like, are there off distances? Like, could you imagine like a 1,500 meter?
I think
like roll.
I feel like I've seen videos of like stuff like that going horribly wrong on like the track. But
I can see where it would go totally wrong. But like, I mean, maybe we don't do it on a track. Maybe do it on a road race surface. Yeah. Like, I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, this is just two guys talking about something that we have no idea about. But no, I thought that was cool as well.
Honestly, I want to see them go longer because it's like they're out there for like an hour and a half. And it's like I'm sure it's the same feat, but like I feel like I want to see some like carnage. Like keep going.
I feel like there's enough carnage.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I know. Yeah,
you imagine just biceps blowing out left, right, and center on that, like a 50-mile race or something like that. Is that what you want? Like
maybe.
Like double downs?
I guess
they're going about 2 hours.
We should really try to get one of those athletes on here to like get more information about.
No, I think that'd be awesome.
And ask them, what their perspective is. Like, do you feel like you want to go longer? What would your ideal market be for your distances?
And do you feel what like is holding you back is not having enough stoke in your diet?
That is
because we could potentially, how many nut and seed butters are partnered with someone that's winning the Boston Marathon?
And imagine that big old stoke across the crossbar there.
Oh, that would look nice.
That would look nice. Especially they're normally like all carbon fiber and like blacked out.
So they look sick.
Like that logo would look good on there.
Oh yeah, that would look nice.
But yeah,
back to the running.
Yeah, wheelchair was awesome. I think just shows also like how good because like if you build storylines like you're gonna like familiarity, it's like you tune back in, you get it. But yeah, like the men's race, we'll start with that, I guess. Like went out. Honestly, I mean, if you tune back into our preview, I mean, I kind of said, I was like, I don't know. If something were to happen, and if the two guys that know how to run it, I could see them upsetting him. Happened. And then we said CJ was going to be a psycho. Happened.
That was, exactly what we thought was going to happen there, yeah.
And then we said Scott was going to do his thing and end up, I forget your exact quote, but I think
he just ran a pilot race. He came from the back, and he
said top 10 guaranteed, I think.
Yeah, lock that up. Even if I didn't say that, we're going to say that I said that. So,
don't fact check that, but
don't go back and look at the tapes on that one. But I think I did, whether it was on a mic or not. I know for a fact I did.
So I mean, not bad for us. Give us a little credibility, a little bit.
Give us a little bit of something here.
But honestly, I mean, it was a great race. I kind of like the Americans going out with them, like Connor Mance. I don't know why when Connor Mance does it, I like believe that he can do it. I mean, maybe just because like. We were in college at the same time, and like he's just a stud, and we'll just always grind out and like do crazy things and like it work out. But I also feel like like at some point like he will kind of be at that level of like 206 somewhere in there. Like, I mean he's got the drive and like kind of the talent to do it. So I feel like that was good for him. Did not end well, obviously. But
my thought is like, what if he'd ran like a little bit more of like a Fobble-esque race where it plays it a little bit smarter in the beginning. Not saying like letting them get completely away, but I mean, 28:52 through the first 10K. I feel like that could have resulted in why his bonk was as hard as it was. Yeah. I mean, going out that hard running a 4:37 first mile in a marathon, I feel like regardless is going to tax the legs a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a nutty start. That's when I was watching the early stages on a Buki free stream because ESPN only allows one family member on the device at one time, but we will not get into that right now. So yeah, I was watching it and I saw the usual suspects like you were saying, Connor and old CJ, and I was like, ooh, this isn't going to end well for either of them if I were to guess, just because of how hot it was. If it was like a 4:45 or a 4:50 first mile, you're like, no, whatever. Yeah, they can probably hang that and whatever. But I feel like you got to pay a little respect to the old man who didn't put it together, Kipchoge. And I think everybody respected him until they saw him start to look human.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely went with him and kind of let him dictate the race, except for CJ, who would surge 30 meters in front.
Weird decisions
and
to
then
do there.
Surge 30 meters back. But The whole time you're watching it too, like we said, the two guys that know what they're doing, how to win. Evans, Chibet, and Kipchoge were just chilling in the back the whole time.
Yeah, just savvy guys.
Yeah, they were just like biding their time. They knew when they were gonna have to work and grind, and the race developed, and people slowly fell off, and then next thing you know, they're at the front, and all of a sudden Kipchoge's falling off the back.
Yeah,
and then 3-man race pretty much from there. After everyone kind of fell off and ended up repeating Evans Chibet. So shout out to him. I mean, that guy's on a tear right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's lights out. Shows up to Boston, grabs a check every year.
Yeah.
Generational money in that family line now, just because of old John Hancock throwing out big boy bucks to him. I mean, every year if you know how to run a course like that, it's, I think, a huge leg up. Here's another talking point that you've heard 35 different times from 35 different other white guys in their mid-20s to mid-40s. Boston's course will tear you down, and it showed. I mean, watching like live tracking of everybody that was going through, like obviously Heartbreak Hill, just kind of showed. Mance never being there before, you kind of saw him get pancaked there.
Yeah,
and that's where the dogs separate from the puppies, I think. And there's a lot of puppies out there yesterday. Not a lot of dogs. A couple dogs out there. A lot of puppies.
Yeah, part of me was like, I know a lot of people don't like that Kipchoge just runs flat courses. They're like, I was like almost hoping for like his haters that he would like kind of pull it off, but at the same time, I kind of like that. I feel like it's good for the sport when someone comes down a little bit.
Like, dude, he's 40. Of course he's gonna flop every now and then.
Yeah.
If he just lit it on fire, it would have been like, we probably got to increase testing or something like that. I don't know if I can say that, but I mean, of course, like he's human. Like things are gonna happen. That proved when he flopped at London too. It's like, you can be at the top of your game, but 26 miles, anything can go wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
And still being in the top 10 on an off day, I mean, quite literally would have been my Super Bowl of my career. If I'd have finished what he did, retire. Immediate retire.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how that accomplishment alone is like.
Have my kids posting me on Instagram 40 years from now talking about how I was in the top 10 at Boston.
That is. Yeah, I mean that you're immortalized. Times change, but you still have that accomplishment. So shout out. Yeah, shout out to them. And obviously some other guys we can talk about. Matt McDonald just balling out too.
I kept seeing that on the ticker, and I was like, holy hell.
Running a very smart race and almost doing a better Scott Fauble than Scott Fauble himself.
Yeah. I mean, is he with BAA?
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured that was the case. I mean, I'm sure knowing the course pretty well and, training on it, if I were to guess, I mean, that obviously helps. And when you have a good day out there and I feel like with the hometown people, it's like, it goes one of two ways. You're either you have a home run or it's really going south because there's a lot of that emotion in it. And I feel like with the marathon, coming from a guy who's never run one before, so I'm talking about things I don't know, is keeping that emotion level pretty even. Because I feel like it's real easy when you're hearing those crowds in the first 10 miles to get jacked. And then when you're seeing demons at 20, being able to, dive into a little bit deeper place because you used it all pretty early.
Yeah, I mean, I think it also helps if if you're training there and stuff, it's a little easier. Like if I were to run it, I would definitely be one of those guys that's way too jacked at the start. I mean, I run off emotion a lot, so I would definitely be like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'd probably get myself in trouble. But
you'd have to take the lead at some point, right? Like just.
Oh, like the first 100 meters.
Oh yeah.
I'd have to get it on an off year, I think, because that would be tough just being in the bag instantly. But yeah,
I'd like to think you could get to the front,
or I'll just,
for at least 200 meters.
Or I'll send to a point where I'm just naturally supposed to be there.
Oh
so, yeah. Blind faith. Yeah, I feel like the top 5 Americans were really close, all kind of within a minute.
Yeah.
So that was cool as well, that nice little pack. And then got to give our shout out to JP Flavin, Flava Flav.
Flava Flav. Put one out there. Oh, yeah, we're gonna give him some cheering. We're also gonna give him gunshots because you gotta love that.
we got his picture here.
Oh, he's gonna love that, and we gotta crop in a couple pictures that he's sent in our group chat of him in different points in his life, possibly shaved faces in different states.
Yeah.
Yeah, the epitome of a marathoner right there, folks. I mean, he had a great build. Had a great build going into it, and had his goals kind of set, I think, and he just executed.
Yeah, and he's being the textbook Hanson's ODP athlete, which is development. You know,
Yeah,
2:15,
absolutely.
and then now he's running Boston, which is
2:14:52.
sorry.
Respect.
I'm sorry. I was trying to make this one look even more impressive, but and then he goes to a harder course and runs it even faster and like probably better. And in case anyone's wondering like what it's like to run that, we asked him, like how to go, and he said, "quote It was so hard I wanted to cry." So definitely they make it look easy, but that's kind of a nice little. I thought it was pretty comical, especially coming from him, who's someone that's like very like that's not bad.
It's not. It could be worse. Like having him say that, I'm like, yeah, I probably would never race that race in my life.
Yeah.
Like,
so
I'll be fine with
that. Glad for him. Shout out to him. We'll see what he does in the future. A lot of open opportunities for him now. So congratulations, JP. Be sure to give him a follow and everything. And
give him a follow. Yeah, big day.
Yeah.
We also had on the women's side, Anne-Marie.
Yeah, Anne-Marie with a big PR, 2:31.
Yeah,
it's like
huge.
a 2-minute PR. So yeah, 2 very good days from them. A couple other injury issues for some of our other teammates, but
I think that just kind of happens in a marathon build,
Yeah,
things happen, and obviously, if for whatever reason you don't have it on the right day at the right time, a marathon, if things go south, they're really going to go south. I feel like it's not like, oh, it kind of went bad. It was like, oh, it went bad, and it went real bad. So it's like,
I mean, it's literally an event where you're trying to be on you're trying to get to the finish line on E.
Yeah.
Like there's not much, like obviously you can suck it up for a couple miles, but like if you get it a little off, like and that E starts hitting a little early, like oof,
yeah,
it can get bad.
Yeah, and I mean the difference between E and like a track race is like 10 or 15 seconds a mile slower.
Yeah.
In a marathon, it can be minutes because how hard you're pushing your body, and I mean. Finishing it regardless is impressive. Like to finish it regardless, in my opinion, is impressive. Even if it's not what you're shooting for, I mean, you got to have some nuggets to go after the race like that.
Yeah. I mean, your body's quite literally shutting down, which is normally when you bonk. So one of our teammates, Jack, hit Heartbreak Bill pretty hard, and still ran it in.
Still finished it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Heartbreak Hill hit him over the head, and I got respect. I mean, a lot of people would just drop at that point, and he still finished. Obviously, wasn't the result he wanted, but I texted him after, and he was like, kind of on to the next, which is, I think, all you can really do in a situation like that, and I think that's a good outlook to have, even if it's, it's probably a pretty emotional point at that after the race because I'm guessing, you just spent.
Yeah.
4 or 5 months dedicating everything to one race and it doesn't go super well. Like I think it's really easy to kind of get down on yourself right there. But Jack's got that ability to just turn it off and go. And I know that he'll bounce back from this. And obviously our CEO and podcast father, Wilkerson, had a injury flare up mid race, and that's got to be tough as well.
Even honestly, him just starting that was impressive.
Was impressive, yeah. He had been dealing with a lot of stuff in the last couple of weeks coming into the marathon, and I think it would have been really easy to DNS that and be like, I'm not even going to give it a shot because, everybody has probably been to that point where they're getting into a race where they're like, I had it in college, my final race of my career, I knew I wasn't going to be able to finish.
Yeah.
Like I was like cortisoned up and like just limping my way through 2-mile runs, and I was like, I'm going to give it a shot at least. And I think to do that for a race that's 26 miles is, like I said, you got nuggets. Like impressive, and he'll be back. He's savvy. He's raced how many marathons at this point?
Oh yeah,
we're not worried about him. Unfortunate that it went down the way it did, but that's a game.
Yeah.
It's just
the big one's in February anyway. So
yeah, and it's nice to be in a position where you've got a team source like us.
Yeah.
What did I say was going to happen?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, as we're recording this.
Oh my god, I called it. Oh, so we're recording this obviously without Wilkerson, and I texted. They're flying back right now, and I texted him and asked for the information for his Riverside account, which is what we record on. And right before we started this, I say to Chris, I go, he's going to text us right as we wrap this up, that all of the information. And right on cue.
Yep.
Right on cue. But
That's all right.
That's fine. We figured
We'll
it out.
take a little off his plate.
Yeah, we'll take some off of his plate.
Do something.
He is behind all of these episodes, editing wise, and getting them all out, and especially with the marathon being up. Hats off to him for all that he's been doing for this.
Yeah, I would have told us to kick rocks probably. I would have been like, I got this thing coming up.
Yeah,
But,
Yeah.
Great guy. Shout out him.
Shout out Wilkerson.
And then should we talk? I mean, the women's race definitely feel like I was kind of surprised that nobody complained about the women's coverage.
Yeah, I was too.
Because I mean, I feel like it was very. I mean, this was like Kipchoge's race, and they made that pretty evident. But so I feel like they got put on the back burner a little bit. But like every time they tuned in, it was just like that pack. Went out a lot slower, a lot smarter. I don't know why I said it like that.
No, I was about to call you out for it, but I was gonna let you finish your comment here.
So yeah,
where's the chippa?
Yeah, my mom's using the chippa. So basically, went out a lot slower, more reserved, stayed together a lot more. And definitely, I mean, the finish of that one I think was almost more exciting than the men's.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when you had 5 women at I think
Like
24.
700 to go at that point too. You had like 4 of them still, and then O'Beary said, "I can run the 1500 really fast."
Oh my god! I mean, that was
nuts.
It's crazy how like the whole time. I mean, she always looks like she's in pain, but like that's just her stride.
I was gonna say she's got that
crazy.
Mance look, Mance looks like he's gonna die at any given moment, but like that's just the way they run.
Yeah. And I mean, she's really. I mean, she's having herself a segment too, stringing some races. I mean, she wasn't even going to do this until what, like a month ago? She announced it.
Yeah,
she was saying like she didn't even really want.
I don't buy that one. I think that was cooking for a while. I think they were making it dramatic.
I think Dathan wanted because she was kind of saying like she didn't want to do it, and he was like, "You should do it," and then she finally came around on it.
Yeah.
So I think it was like in the works, but I don't think she accepted it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, boom, let's gonna go out there and win the thing.
Yeah,
I mean, and it's not like she's beating nobodies. Like that was a
good field.
Was as a competitive field.
Yeah, that's a very good field. Like, yeah,
and it was crazy, and she just ran away from those, just like cool. I mean, so that was really entertaining. Emma Bates being in there as long as she was, knocking at the door of really being like.
I thought for a second she was going to win the thing. Like she looked so good at like 23 miles. I was like, wow, like they're leaving her a little too long in this.
Yeah, I looked at her face and very relaxed, and then I looked at the other.
So when that one chick tripped, I think everything kind of went south at that point. That was crazy too. A falling
favorite, essentially, to fall like that.
Yeah, when she went down and then she rallied back to the group, I was like, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna get really angry and get thing you take off, but again, these are better runners than I, so she definitely was a little more reserved and calmed down and got back into it. But I mean, yeah, the fact that Emma Bates is knocking at the door to be like on the level as these like elite, really like winning world major type marathoners.
Yeah, and it's impressive too because I mean she's obviously got a training group with Team Boss, but like she's the only marathoner in that group really.
Yeah.
Her and Fable both kind of doing that with Boss. I think it's impressive. It's impressive from the aspect of like a lot of people train for the marathon solo and stuff like that, but like to really, really push yourself like that, it's impressive to do solo because like that's the nice thing about being here is you've got people within your realm that can help you through these big like workouts that you need to be successful in the marathon.
Yeah.
But yeah, huge day for her.
And then also,
I lost my thought there.
Okay.
Sorry.
Also, I feel like Dathan has to be the best coach right now, like hands down. Because like a lot of even in the past like 10 years, I feel like it's like you have guys that'll like have moments like obviously Jerry Schumacher is very good, and then you have
he kind of gets it, man. He gets. He's not a robot. He doesn't hide his athletes like from races and everything. He'll let them go out and race. Like, Jerry's notorious for sitting the boys in the dark and then racing them once or twice a season. Like, we saw it with like Klecker racing like the sound meet and stuff like that. I think that's kind of cool that like he's a very genuinely like in it for his athletes kind of guy, or he's really pulling the wool over everybody's eyes. If not, The
other crazy thing is that most like coaches have like a group and like a niche thing.
Yeah.
But he now has a Boston Marathon winner and
Mhm.
then all the way down to like American record holder in the mile. Like
That's
he can literally coach and coach very well. Like anyone. Granted, his athletes are ungodly good, but like I mean, he's turning like
Yeah,
good
but they're
athletes
competing at the
into, like,
world stage.
Yeah,
Like that's
exactly.
the thing. It's like everybody goes, "Oh, he gets the best talent coming out of the U.S." And I was like, "Well, yeah, he's getting the best talent, but they're also performing at the highest of levels. Like there's no other like with yard running what he's running. Like there's very limited like range for him to go much more. Like
Yeah.
like
And he's doing it.
and he's doing it. And then you've got guys like Joe that was like he was good in college, like
Not
very
this good,
good,
though.
not this good though. So I think that's kind of impressive. And seeing him at the line like in tears basically, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very evident he cares about. It seems like a very cool group, very tight knit. Which is, I mean, I think that also helps. But I mean, I remember when it first formed, I was like, this is really just like college kid. I'm like, it looks like a college select team because I was like, it was like Jordy, Joe Klecker,
and then who was the third? Wasn't there a third one?
I think so, but it was just like
we're definitely forgetting a name that's like very prominent. We're just very stupid.
Well, I think there was a few of them, but I remember just like seeing the
Yeah.
picture, being like, "Oh, that's a stud." But I was like, they're all like 22.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is gonna be interesting. And like, I mean, now they're literally the premier group in running,
Yeah,
which is nuts. So
it is nuts.
big shout out him, former Hanson's ODP athlete.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting too because he's doing it with On as opposed to like Nike.
Yeah.
Like everybody obviously, Nike's got the best racing shoes out there. Second best. Yeah, I mean
behind Brooks.
Yeah, well, obviously from racing in both of them. Yeah. No, I mean that I think speaks to more of it too. It's like everybody gives the super shoe kind of talk too. It's like now that everybody's kind of on par, it's back to what group's the best.
Yeah, which is nice. I feel like that's calmed down a lot. Is the shoe talk because it's like
I'm so sick of nerds.
Yeah.
Oh God, I hate it so much. I know you're an engineering nerd over here, but like I hate hearing that the shoes and it's the shoes, and I'm like, okay, great, it's the shoes. Shut up, they're still running.
Yeah, now like all the people that aren't like hurt, they've kind of gotten over the fact that their PRs are outdated. Like,
yeah,
you're always gonna have to say that you didn't use a super shoe. Now we've moved on. Everyone has them. Everyone has a competitive shoe. It is nice that it's like back to like racing and like we're coming accustomed to like fast times.
Yeah,
it's nice that a lot of that talk isn't the shoe. It's now back on the athletes.
Yeah, 20 years from now, high schoolers going to be running like 13 teens, and I'm not going to be like, well, if I had their shoes, I could definitely be running 13 teens. Like, just shut up.
It's all period correct. It's all
It's evolution.
Yeah.
Of course, we're going to get faster. There's 90 other elements that are playing into this too. I got like a 40-minute rant in me, but
we'll do an episode on that maybe. On the shoes.
Yeah. You want to see me real just like unhinged and torqued up? Yeah, that's going to be the one that I'll probably lose our sponsor on. We would never lose STOKE as a sponsor.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
No.
But I feel like we're definitely way over our allotted time that we are supposed to have.
Yeah, we have to be. Normally, we've got Wilkerson holding up a 5 hand to us that we've been going for too long.
Which we ignore.
We ignore. Yeah, 10, he says 5. We say we're going to get 10 and then maybe think about 15. But
yeah. But so I guess we'll wrap this one up. Stay tuned. We're gonna have guests. I swear to God. We're trying to probably sneak this one in a little early because it's relevant.
This might be a 2-parter in a week. Who knows? If it's not, don't hold me to it.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Again, send us any recommendations. DM STOKE on Instagram. Would love to give a life advice episode. So.
Oh yeah.
I know former teammate Dan Soto.
Dan.
Please
Dan.
actually go through. And,
Dan, if you would like to send some handwritten notes, I want quill ink with it though. Yeah. I will answer your questions, but it needs to be handwritten.
Yes. So.
You can send the picture of the handwritten thing. I will.
No, he knows the address.
Well, that's fine, but like, I mean, if he doesn't have money for stamps, I get that. At the end of the day, I don't either.
He's a big Boston guy now.
Oh yeah, big corporate elite guy.
He can probably just send it from the company's name.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah. So Dan, send us some messages. Thanks everyone for tuning in again. Hope you had some laughs with us. Thank you.
See ya. Hey boys.
Hey boys.